Through with.
Oh, it's being recorded.
We're recording. Just talk shit. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I know how it is.
Hey, if you guys don't know, this is James. James moved to the area a couple weeks ago, so he's already been traumatized. And I asked him if he wanted to hop on.
Lighting. Check out this lighting. This is solid. Like this hotel lighting. Like, how much darker can I get?
You look like you're ready to call an escort and order a pizza, man.
Hey, it's, you know how it is. Hotel rules. Hotel rules.
All right, let's get an intro. We'll just roll into it. I think Duncan's gonna bitch out for tonight. So Flying Bucky's Wargaming podcast, where Wargaming was easy, it'd be your mom. Main host Bam is here, and I'm here with my boy Alex the Coons.
Oh, hey.
And joining us is going to be one of the judges from Iron Halo. You guys know him. You guys love him. Also, Team Texas. If Josh Thomas talks shit about your terrain, it is Josh Thomas talking shit about your terrain. He's just on the podcast as a guest, so don't get tilted. Don't get salty. Fucking put on your big girl panties and just deal with it. And you can give Josh all the fucking salt if you get tilted. But what's up, Josh?
What's up?
And then new guy, I'll kind of let him introduce himself. Been hanging around playing games last week. Pretty good player, James. And I can read your last name, but I'm not going to try to pronounce it.
No, it's all good. Yep, James just moved here from North Carolina, and yeah, if you heard this voice before, well, yeah, it's me. So happy to be here. Really excited. I'm glad to play a lot of new people, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, James, pretty good player. He's got a YouTube channel. You shot your YouTube channel, man. Go ahead.
Oh, just like James loves games. It's really easy because I love games.
Yeah. So James was up at the shop yesterday watching me speed paint Grey Knights furiously. I did get them all done today though, so I'm pretty happy about that.
They looked really good. I really like the blue. I compliment blue.
Dude, I've got a pink unit, an orange unit, a turquoise unit, a yellow unit. So it is what it is, man. And they're painted to about a 4 standard. So it's I was joking today. I told Julian, like, if I enter them in the painting competition and I get a higher score in the rubric than I did at Show Me Showdown for my Space Wolves, like I'm lighting the earth on fire, like the whole earth on fire.
You probably will.
Talking about, man, I've seen your Space Wolves. They're a solid 3.5.
So's your wife.
Hey, don't tell her. We've been married 15 years. We're good.
All right, guys. Alex is not going. He's been G.I. Joeing, so but he has been getting some games in with 1,000 Suns. While James walked away, but what's your take on the 1,000 Suns, Alex? How are you building your games?
I think they're fun. I've really enjoyed playing them. They're a lot more work than my Blood Angels are, though, to like win games with.
Right. Are you doing the double Termi blob, or are you?
I am, yeah. 20 Terminators, and a Leviathan Dreadnought.
Okay.
So, yeah, it is very movement phase intensive. Like, I've played Mark with his Grey Knights. Obviously, he's doing very well right now, and he's a good player with them in particular. And yeah, every game that we've had has been really, really close. Like, for example, the RTT we just had, he won 94-92.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a hell of a game.
Right. Well, but then I do shit like completely misplace my Demon Prince. Right. Like, I literally threw my Demon Prince away, like free Demon Prince kill, because of just a movement mistake, like a small movement mistake. So the list suffers very badly from that, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to, I don't know, get gooder.
Get good, scrub.
So
I gotta say, that 1,000 Suns book, just when you read all the new books, like as I read stuff, that 1,000 Suns book at least read really good. Like we've been doing some practices with it. It's a cool book. It's got a lot of cool tools. That's the type of book I like. Like, it's a lot of fun. Like,
I agree.
Player, and I hate the Orc book. I think it's garbage as far as mechanically. But
I agree.
That 1,000 Suns book is mechanically a very nice book. I like it.
Well, the weird thing about that Orc book in my mind is, like, really the only viable thing that seems to be in that Orc built list is, like, can I build something that has 80,000 shots if I go first? Like that seems to be the mechanic of that
That's
orc
right.
book.
Yeah,
That's where people are at because nothing lives. Like I've tried full squig list. I've tried everything. You know how it is. You get into you start practicing. We've been playing tons of practice games, and just throwing spaghetti at the wall, and it's just mechanically, it's not nearly as fun a book as the GK or Thousand Suns book.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I've got 27 orc bikes. Are those any good? So,
What's crazy is points per wound. I think orc bikers are some of the toughest orc wounds you're going to get. They're actually under an orc boy point per wound, and they have a -1 hit built in. I mean,
I was looking at them. There's a ton of
great.
fucking shots out of them too. So
Yeah, what happens is every time I put them on the table, they move block each other, and then die.
sounds legit. So James, you've kind of been digging in and doing the Thousand Suns book. Or is your verdict thumbs up, thumbs down? You're a chaos guy, I think, at your core. So what's your take on it?
Yeah, Thousand Suns, I thought that they were pretty good in 8th. I really enjoyed. You had a lot of tricks that like you could definitely take people off guard, like warp timing, Terex pattern assault drills at people. Just stupid shit like that, where it's just like it came out of nowhere and people are like, wait, what? You can do that? Yep. Okay. So we still kind of have a little bit of that, but I think it's a lot less janky, you know what I mean? It definitely takes a lot of forecasting. A lot of people are taking like the Ori relic, which it's really powerful, but at the same point, like when you realize you need line of sight on the thing that you want to use it on, a good opponent's gonna be like, no, you're not gonna see the thing you want to use it on. You can use it on these cultists over here.
Honestly,
So-
my biggest thing with the Orrery is the units that can take advantage of it are very limited.
Yeah.
Like there are no strong heavy support choices in that book, I'm sure, for balance purposes, which is weird to say because what's that? But
I think the main reason I use it is literally to negate like -1 to hit or wound modifiers. If you run into Be'lakor, like it's straight up like, oh, I see Be'lakor, cool, I'm just gonna kill it with these Terminators.
Yep.
So it has its uses. Like, yeah, it's niche, but like sadly, I think the weakest part of the Codex was pretty much the relics. Like there's a few really good ones, with the crystal and orrery, and some people really like the disc. But overall, I'm really enjoying the Codex. It really, I've been thinking a lot of this. I did put out a video about the meta today, and the way the meta is kind of skewing and the way the game's going. I feel like a lot of matchups now are really like going first dependent, which I really hate. I really hate the fact that I run into orcs and I'm like, please God, give me first turn, otherwise I just lose. And I really don't like that right now.
Well, the Telling of 8th had a huge alpha strike problem, and like 9th hasn't done anything to mitigate it.
Well, I mean, it wasn't that bad up until like I think like Ad Mech, like because Death Guard wasn't like super alpha strikey. Dark Angels literally just stand around the table, like that's their thing. So
stand around, be durable.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like you have the two super durable armies, but like now we've gotten into Drukhari, Ad Mech, Grey Knights, Thousand Suns. And that durability, like I played Death Guard into like Thousand Suns or Grey Knights, and I don't feel it. I'm like, where's my durability? You just
well, I think Mortal Wounds is the chink in their armor, to be honest. So,
and I can tell you, I've been practicing with those, all these crazy orc lists that people are coming up with 9 million buggies and shit. And when you're practicing them, it's not fun to go second versus it. And it's not, honestly, as a player, it's not fun to play. Like I'm like, oh, I rolled first, go, yay.
I stopped playing Drukhari because it wasn't fun to play.
Yeah, I mean,
I won games. Great.
We talk about winning all the time, and there's some guys in my local team and in my local meta who are like, it's win at all costs, right? They can't wrap their mind around anything except the fact that, hey, these 18 buggies are awesome. They're 3D printing as fast as they can, and I'm like, well, maybe slow down a bit and think about, is it even fun? Because I can tell you at practice nights, I despise it. Like I roll dice, I win to go first, I just throw them across the room like, cool, you want to do something else? Let's play Legion or something.
No, it's so true, man. And I feel like I think it's bad feeling on, obviously the opponent's side, going into that. And sadly, like with that list, and I think I heard it on on this podcast. Yeah, I'm on this podcast, but where it was like, I think it was Ben and Dan talking, where it was like, the Orcs versus Ad Mech, like who goes first? Like that's literally one dice roll decided this game.
Yep.
And that's stupid.
All our practice games, Orc versus Ad Mech, are exactly that. We're like, all right, cool, best 2 out of 3, and then we roll again.
We'll just roll this one dice.
I was talking to James the other day. I said, like, I'm gonna make a how to play against Ad Mech video, And it's going to be like roll off. If you lose the roll off, go pick your brand of whiskey and take 2 hours hanging outside smoking a cigar. So look at it, fucking Duncan made it. Only half an hour late,
Oh,
but it's
shit.
cool.
Hey, he did it.
Clusterfuck.
All
I'm
right.
here.
So those who don't know,
Jesus.
Dunkalicious is in the chat.
Yeah.
So,
I'm here.
James, you hadn't met Dunkalicious yet. That's because he's
I
always
did.
got an excuse to skip out on the local stuff, but
That is
Right.
true.
he is
does do
semi-local.
that.
Hey, no, I was there Labor Day.
And,
Yeah, I
uh,
saw him. I met him that day.
Yeah.
the big brain behind Flying Monkey Con. So that's
Smooth brain,
that's
not big brain.
the big math Jew guy. So
Smooth brain.
but all right, guys. So the topic tonight, we're just gonna get into Iron Halo, man. I'd like to maybe go through the roster, see what names we see if we got a list that are interesting. I don't know if Josh probably been through it more than us because he had a review list.
Yeah, I've been reviewing lists until I was cross-eyed. Then you take a break, you start over. We've had 3 or 4 judges, so not that anyone's going to see this before. When's this come out? Friday or something?
It comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow. So if you hear this tomorrow or today when you're listening to it, and you check your email, because we had to email 5 or 6, 7 guys, but we're going through it, and I'm already getting some the usual suspects, Dan Salmon, emailing me, texting me and shit like, hey, this list looks wrong. So yeah, if I actually as a TO, part of the reason why we put this stuff public, right, is I like to pick the internet's brain because I'm not going to catch it all. There's 122 lists I'm going through.
I talked to Jason Horn this morning, and my exact quote to him was, the quickest way to find out if you have an illegal list at your event is to make your list public.
Make them public.
Because I promise you that within minutes you're going to hear from somebody saying like, I was looking at this list and so.
No, and I bang on Dan's balls. It wasn't actually him. It was a different Outlander that texted me immediately. Like as soon as they were open, it was a different Outlander. But I know I love those guys. I love them to death.
You a fan of banging balls?
Hey, who wants to bang some balls? I'm in a
Dude,
hotel room for the next 5 days down here. Come on down.
Duncan, you
man.
play gay chicken with Josh or myself, you're going to just cry yourself to sleep at night.
It's gonna be.
You'll be like
Yeah.
Ace Ventura chewing gum, doing the crying game in the shower.
Or after I take a poop, it'd be like him coming out of the rhinoceros' asshole.
That makes no sense. That makes 0 sense. So, all right,
keep in
guys,
mind.
let's get into this. I'm gonna try and share a screen, and this is new technology, guys. So
You got
bear
new
with
tech.
me.
You're on Zoom. Check you out.
I know, man. Look at me,
2020.
and it's not locking up or freezing. I probably should knock on this wooden desk so I don't fuck myself on it. All right, we're going to share my screen on 3, 2. I think it worked.
Oh, there you go.
Wow,
Oh, look at that. Look at us.
It's
I know.
fancy.
Fancy.
So here is the I guess the roster. And
Hey,
someone was
Bam.
telling me, it was actually Ryan fucking Beaver messaged me today and said like the field looks pretty weak. And like I think I got to the C's, and by the time I got to the C's, like I had like over half a dozen GT winners, some of those major GT winners.
It's not weak. Look, you look across the Midwest. Whenever you show up to one of these events, there's 17 dudes that have won a GT or a major, former ITC champs, top 10. I will say that this year versus maybe last year, you do have a bunch of I call them top tier guys. They're all going to like the Las Vegas team tournament. So this is definitely a Midwest driven centric roster this year. So from that perspective, right, it doesn't have a lot of the East or West coasters that we've had in years past, but certainly it's not weak for the Midwest at all.
But you're only good at Warhammer if you're from the East or West Coast.
That
Or
is
That
Florida.
is
true.
correct. True statement. The entire Midwest is a desert.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Doesn't even have people. But no, I think it's actually a really good field. And I think it's a good field for the Midwest. So I'm actually really excited. As much as I like the East and West Coast guys, this is kind of a premiere. This is one of those big ones. It's sad that's the last year for it for now. I'll say for now because I've been banging on Jason. I think he'll be back. But
Eventually, I think he needs a break though, because that dude's he's burned, man. He's tired.
yeah, he's tired. He's tired, man. It's cool. But that's why we have Monkey, right? But this is one of those premier events,
Right.
and so for the Midwest, and I think there's a lot of good players here. There's a lot of dudes here who know how to play 40K, and there's a lot of dudes here. Just throwing out some of the names just at the top of that list, right? Colin McDade, Dan Salmons, both of them are playing 2 brutal orc lists that I don't want to go second versus.
I mean, they're playing identical orc lists is what they're doing.
No, hey,
It's
Colin did the you can copy my homework, but change it up a little bit so nobody knows it's mine.
Yeah.
With
No,
Dan
it's
Salmon's list.
there's
Yeah.
definitely like some weird tick marks over the division points, and yeah,
It's very, very, there are certainly slight differences. But yeah, so I mean, those are two good players playing what we can say is arguably a current meta list. So it's going to be tough, right? The terrain and going second versus them is going to be tough. There's 11 GK players, all right?
Yeah, and Ben Sherwin's definitely coming
Holy
in hot.
shit!
that dude.
11.
There are
11.
11 Grey Knights
God
players.
damn.
That,
I'm
to
telling
me,
you,
For
dude.
once, I'm part of the problem.
yeah. You don't understand how good those fucking Dread Knights are.
Dude,
They are
I do
so
know.
good.
well,
I got
and,
so
John
good.
Cena, and it was bullshit.
and when
Yeah.
you go against those and go through those 11 lists, right? A lot of them are, it's all Dread Knight heavy.
No,
for
it
the
is.
most
It's
part,
all of them.
right?
They're all 4+.
And
Not
we'll
a
let you guys
single
know
one
the secret
is less than
sauce
that.
in mine
Well, when
now.
you're going through them, that's how you've told the difference, right? You'd go down and you go like,
Yeah.
oh, only 3? Look at that little guy. And then you move on.
Who even
5,
has 3?
5, 5.
But
So, yeah.
dude, I need like the secret sauce in mine right now. I'll tell you, like, don't sleep on my librarian. I know the Dread Knights are cool, but my librarian comes in hot, dude. That guy slings mortals.
Fuck
Like-
that guy. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Fuck him in the face.
We
I was at
They,
our fight
um,
night the other night, and someone mortal wounded my squig boss 5,000 times. I don't even know
Yeah.
what character it was. Just
James
Oh,
and I had a
character.
moment where James had to look at my codex. So it was
I,
just
uh,
accept that.
And he won't. Bam won't let me live it down because I asked him to see the codex and he tried to show me battle scribe.
and I did my own thing that like battle scribe isn't rules. And when James said
Yeah.
it, I was like, fuck, you're right.
He's
And
right.
like every day you still mention it. You're like, I'll show you my codex, and I'm like, dude, it's over.
That's funny.
Yeah,
But I mean, you got Ad Mech continues kind of their drop. They're down to 6. So I think it's still a strong book. It's just they're down to 6. At one point, you know,
hey,
they would
ask
have
Duncan. I played Duncan's Ad Mech with my Dread Knights. How'd that work out, homie?
I brought more chickens because of that.
I mean, we're like, so
'Cause I got-
6 orcs. So orcs coming
got
in
John
hot.
Cena.
Most of those lists are the same or very similar. There is a couple outlier orc lists where guys were like, oh, I like the really bad buggies. So those will be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
You got Necrons, Dark Angels coming in hot at 6. I mean, 10 Death Guard. Death Guard have been super well represented for a little while
Yeah.
now.
We were talking about that today. I think it's because they're a little on the easier side to run, and they still do well.
They do, and they're durable as fuck. And in a
9
game where
sisters
it's
still, so
Yeah,
let's
Sisters
go.
are solid.
I do want to talk about some people I think are kind of contenders that I'm not sure Cookie had a run with the Adeptus Custodes for a while. He did win a GT with them, but I'm not sure Custodes sit right in the meta now with Thousand Suns. And
I don't think they sit right. I played Cookie. I mean, Cookie and I have had close games at GTs. He is one hell of a player, but I think
Yeah.
at Custodes' time has passed.
Yeah,
There's too many mortals in the game now.
Way
Like
too many.
Grey
Yeah.
Knights and Thousand Suns both are just like, okay, that's cool. You have a unit, get off my board.
but
Well, even then, like,
Sherwin's in I think Sherwin's sitting top of the ITC right now and close to the top of Lord Marshall.
Mm.
And he's running all the baby carriages for Grey Knights, and that dude's gotten the reps in. So I honestly, he's my favorite to win. Like, I know Ben and I are friends, but I think he's coming in this event.
What? Ben
In a good
showed up
place.
to an event with like this week's hot meta list? That never happened.
Yeah. Well, he won Show Me Showdown with the Ad Mech, so I think
Yeah, he's got to move on to the next best thing.
I think Grey Knights feels like less of selling his soul. So he's played Grey Knights before.
Yeah, he is.
Let's.
give him
I'm
a
gonna
hard
share my
time,
screen
Because
just so we
he's
can kind of go
switched
down
like
the list.
every other week, but he's doing well, man. He's doing well.
Yeah. So we got Ben Sherwin. I know he's running 5 of the baby carriers.
hmm
Seems about the right number.
And
So,
in the hot mess of interceptors from the Grey Knight book, those dudes move 12. Some people bring in rhinos because you can put them in rhinos. They're not like the typical jump pack troops. I'm gonna scroll down. If you guys see any names to stop, holler at me. Cam Hawkins with Thousand Suns. If he has good matchups, I think Cam can perform pretty well.
There's 70 Suns list. I'm not sure that I saw any that I thought were super amazing. I'm
Yeah.
interested to see how they do this week because I think that's a cool book.
I would like to look at Charlie Andre's list because Charlie's if you've looked at Lord Marshall, Charlie's kind of had
So
a hell of a
Charlie-
rookie season.
He just won the IWOG Open, and I believe that he actually, if you look at the top, it's the same list from the
Yeah,
IWOG
so-
Open. So
Jukari.
he's, Yeah, it's a good
15
list.
rows. Huh.
Some Cavalite Warriors. This is the same list he pretty much ran at the IWOG, Josh.
Well, I think he cut and pasted it because it says IWOG open at the top.
Does
So
it? Oh, it does. It says the IWOG open. Cool.
there you go.
All right. Well,
And Charlie, he was playing. He played tough, good games. I mean, he played really well at the IWOG. I watched a couple of his games. Really impressed with him.
Let's see
don't
if my
fix what ain't
shenanigans.
broke.
Duncan, did you see the bottom of my list?
Yeah, I
Try
did.
Jesus, don't try me.
Because I throw
Throws
hands.
hands.
So,
Try Jesus.
Well, it says something else there too.
oh, did you guys edit it?
I mean,
Fuck.
maybe.
Make me put my glasses on. Not even Jesus can approve of this list. Not enough Dread Knights. Oh shit.
Oh
Nice.
no.
Nice. I got owned on air. So let's see who else we got rolling down here. Where did Cam?
I mean,
Colin McDade. Let's see what he's running.
Yeah. Colin McDade, he's running.
He copied Dan Salmon's homework.
He's running Orcades.
This
Connor-
salmon special.
Okay.
Connor McCormick won War from the Wooden Spoon. He's usually has pretty good outings running Jakari.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dan Cornwell and Death Watch. What the fuck, man? Let's look at Dan Salmon's orc list. Josh, you want to talk through this since you're the dedicated orc player in the chat?
Well, I mean, the key here, right? He's running Speedwa, and this was pre-FAQ. So I mean, I haven't talked to Dan in a little bit, but I'd be interested to see if he drops that trike for a war bike class, because I'm not a huge fan of the trike. But I mean, look, the 3 mega scraps. I don't know if you've gotten hit by these scrap jets, a unit
They
of 3 of
hurt.
them when
I
they've
have.
got +1 to hit. It is some of the most disgusting shooting. The Rucka trucks do what Rucka trucks do. DACA jets are insane for engage and going across the board and just picking a unit up and saying, "Here, cool, I'll take that." He's actually added some tank busters, which I find interesting. I think he's thinking, what can I do to get up, do some damage to some vehicles, a little bit more anti-tank, because strength
They're
5
not
minus
incredibly
3
expensive either.
damage is only okay. So he added some tank busters. I don't know that 5's going to do what he thinks it's going to do, but we'll see. I mean, he's Dan Salmons. I'm not.
Well, I mean, they get what, D3 shots now a piece at flat
Mhm.
3 damage. So I
It's
mean,
basically
into
10
like a
rocket shots. It's basically 10 rocket shots. I told him,
Yeah.
we chatted a little bit, and I said, look, man, I've never had luck with less than 10. But I mean, that's just orc play, right? 5 has a little bit more rocket shots. Now we'll see. Like I said, he's Dan Salmons. I don't know.
Now, do they still reroll their hits against vehicles?
no,
No.
they get plus
They
1
get
to hit.
+1 to hit.
Mhm.
Eh.
So,
Does it stack with freebooters?
only to ignore modifiers, because you can't ever have
Yeah.
more
Yeah,
than
you
a
can't
+1.
ever get better than +1.
So
Yeah, that's what the other night our local orc
Test
player
me
was
out.
like. I hit on 2s. I'm like, whoa. Let's talk
Yeah,
about this a little bit.
clam down.
Yeah.
Down.
So,
So,
but
I
yeah,
mean,
he's
and
got
then
the
if you
Storm
haven't-
Boys.
Yeah, the Storm Boys are really great. This is and
Mhm.
this was a trick I was using with Death Skulls. I saw Dan's list, started thinking Death Watch. Death Skulls in the last book, right? Because in here you have a stratagem to make them OBSEC. You shoot these dudes across the board and toe touch into stuff, because guys have gotten really used to being like, oh, these 2 servitors are going to hold this objective for me. But then 5 Storm Boys land and throw down OBSEC, and boom, now I'm denying you primary, and that stratagem can go off in the command phase before you start tallying points. So
And they also get like a lot of AP1 attacks too, right? Like
I mean, like all orc boys, right? They've got a choppa and they throw out
yeah.
-1 stuff. So 5 of them will do more than you expect, but really it's the movement shenanigans and the toe tapping in and taking
But they're so
objectives that
fucking
I
cheap
find
anyways. They're cheap as
right.
fuck.
They're like
Yeah.
super free. And they move, and they made their rocket backs better now. So I really like them more, because it used to be you rolled and you did the difficult terrain rule. You rolled at any ones, you rolled a die for each dude, and any one when they advanced, he just died.
Yeah.
Now it's just roll on a 4-up, they take a mortal wound. So if you're playing me, they always take a mortal wound when they advance. But
Dude, I thought I had bad dice until I've seen James roll in his games lately. So I'm
But I mean, no, this list is pretty, I mean, bog standard, right? He's got Mega Tracks, he's got
Yeah.
Ruck Truck Storm, he's got the Storm Boys. There's not even, I don't even think there's any OBSEC in this list. No native OBSEC. You've got to pay for it, because you're
did
just trying
Gross
to
lose
blow
their
dudes.
OBSEC?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gross lost their OBSEC.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're just basically blowing dudes off the board and toe tapping in with vehicles and fast dudes.
I
So,
heard
And
you like
busting their
floated off the
balls.
board.
Yeah. Busting
no.
balls and blowing dudes.
hey, it's what happens.
Let's go to
What
another
happens in
list here.
Oklahoma stays in Oklahoma.
All right.
It's
My
true.
wife
You're
doesn't
across
watch the
state
podcast.
lines, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. We hit Dan Salmons. Dan Rice coming out of retirement. Dan's not a contender, but Dan is a hell of a fucking dude. David
I don't know
Villara is running some weird Imperium.
What's that say? Dunca Blow dudes? I can't read that.
Let's see what Duncan's doing. Let's talk
Can't
about his
fucking use
list.
my nickname anymore. It's bullshit.
Dunkalicious.
Ad
Duncan, you
Mech.
want to talk about your list?
Sure.
You added more
It
chickens
says-
after you played me. Why?
I did. I'm glad I did it too, considering there's fucking 11 Grey Knights that all have stupid ass Dread Knights. So, but I'm taking Ad Mech, taking Mars, battalion of them with the campaign book. So I got a Marshal, I got the Manipulus, I have 5 units of troop boys, 2 big units, and then 3 little units, and then a shit ton of Karen bodies, specifically 2 infiltrator units, 2 units of 10 rust stalkers, a unit of 5 rust stalkers, and then 9 las cannon chickens. So all inside of a nice Mars detachment.
That's a lot more chickens, dude. That'll be.
I saw what they did, whatever return that was, and where they picked up, the two of them, and I was like,
You know what's fucking
I need
disgusting
more.
to me is seeing these rust stalkers, man. God damn.
They're so cheap and they're so fucking
Uh,
So fucking
good.
good.
They're so
Rust
good.
stalkers and infiltrators are so fucking good.
Yeah.
So dumb. I'm gonna pull
I-
a Matt Root and just like convert some dumb orc shit and call it Ad Mech.
I wish I had time to get even more rust stalkers. I wanted 30 of them, but I just didn't have time to get all those done. So
Fucking dumb.
Some of the
Yeah.
guys I'm sharing with just showed up. Just so you know, there's 2 GK players in the room here, and I just polled them. One has the guy with 3 Dread Knights is here in my room. He's made a mistake. He just
Tell him
said that. He's like, I
low.
fucked up.
Yeah,
he
I'd
done
say
fucked
so.
up. AAA Ron.
4 is the lowest you should ever have.
That's true.
What does actually surprise me though is the low number of people using Crow.
Yeah, dude, Crow
I
for 90
don't-
points.
I don't
Woo.
fucking understand. Like a 50% costed character and no one runs it.
Yeah.
I have no idea why.
Let's see. Jason Rogers. He's probably running the same Death Guard stuff he's been running. There is, let's see here, Plague Company, Tallyman, Lord of Virulence. Oh, he's got 3 Contemptor Dreadnoughts
Oh, yeah, there you go.
with the Volkites now. Death Rusher Terminators, Flower Blight Spawn, Plague Burst Crawler. Is he still running Morty? That's what I'm gonna see. No.
it's a mistake
he's-
if he is.
no Morty. So he's kind of changed
Good.
his list. Unless I missed
Well,
something.
you know,
He
whatever
learned
you
it
can do
did.
to stick more Volkite in there.
Yeah. That's a lot of
it's-
fucking Volkite shots, man.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not a fan of the triple Volkites, especially, if anybody watches my games, I don't roll 6s. But I don't know. I think Death Guard relies way too heavily on that. You know what I mean?
You just run defilers instead, right?
Well, I like Mephitic Blight Haulers myself, but
Oh, there you go.
I like the fact that he's running them. But yeah, I think that he's leveraging, like relying on the Volkites to pretty much carry the game, and especially into Grey Knights, ain't gonna happen.
Right.
Ain't gonna
That's true.
happen.
Oh, that's nice of Zoom. They've cut the 40-minute time limit on our group meeting. I did not realize there was a time limit.
Yep, I see that.
So
We
let's go.
exceeded.
Let's go to Kyle Mccord. He's a good player. He dodges me at tournaments though. I'm not sure what the deal is about
He
that.
actually tells me whenever we have practice games, he says, "Man, I have to practice dodging Bam." Like,
Is that what it is?
yeah,
So-
he says it. He actually he thinks about it a lot and meditates on it.
Did he tell you I bought his book?
No, well, I mean, no, I haven't had a talk with everyone who bought his book, but
Yeah, I bought his book and asked him to sign it for me.
he'll
he-
do it.
he-
Kyle Mccord. It's actually a good novel. I don't know if you read it. It's actually
I
a good
haven't.
novel.
I've it's on the table. When I get back from Halo, I'll probably get through it.
Yeah, Kyle Mccord. If you haven't gone out and bought his book, he's got a book out now.
Yeah, he's a dope dude. He's pretty cool. Man, he's got a weird list.
So, Kyle's a good friend of mine. He has been running this same strange ass list since most of 8th and now into 9th. And
so 2 tank commanders, some Scions.
yeah, let me tell you what I've died to Overwatch multiple times on. Those stupid fucking tank commanders.
Has he used the Cadia strat on you a lot? Is that what?
Whenever you can't play Chaos versus him. We actually
okay.
make him at practice nights. We make him not use it versus Chaos players because it's like a giant big I win button. He just presses it and shit falls off your board.
And he's got a detachment of Dark Angels and a detachment of fucking Ad Mech. All right, Kyle, I don't know what you're doing, but I hope it works out for you.
Okay.
Oh, that's
he's a solid 4 and 2. That's what I'm gonna call.
Yeah.
He's a solid 4 and 2 on that.
he's a good player, though. He's a good player. So
That's the thing. He's good with that list. Like, it's one of those things where I can't run it.
yeah, look out for Mark Newson. He's a sleeper pick. I think Martin Newson is going to sneak up on some of you guys. His Death Star is finally fully operational, and he's throwing the shackles off of it. Let's see.
He's been playing that army for a real long time.
He has.
There's
Fucking-
Nate Martin's Iron Hands. That's my sleeper pick. I'm going with Nate Martin.
Well, he's not coming.
he's
Martin's not coming, dude.
So you have already failed.
We both
Yeah,
know Nate
I
Martin
lost.
was going to be on the kitty tables at turn 6 anyway. So let's see. Trying if you guys see any other names that hop out. Nick Weiss, he's coming out of 40K retirement. He challenged me round 1, so we're playing.
He's
So
he's running the same thing he's been running for
He has.
years.
bunch of fucking
It's all Scions all the time.
Scions dropping out of Valkyries. So let's see.
I actually saw Robert Moreland surprised me that he switched to Astra Militarum off of his Ad Mech.
Oh yeah, Robert's a really good player too. Yeah.
Who?
Robert Moreland. I
Rob
played him at
Moreland's
Show Me Showdown, and
Let's
it was
see
an
this
Ad Mech
list.
matchup. But he's an Astra Militarum player at heart, so it doesn't surprise me that he's.
Oh,
Doing
he's
that.
bringing Yarwick, man. I hadn't seen Yarwick on the table in a dog's age.
It's a lot of guardsmen already.
Fucking 5 infantry squads. They're OPSEC, so and cheap. An Astropath, Command Squad, Weird Vein Psychers.
Yeah, that's all. A lot of that seems like a mistake.
Is this 2018?
I'll say
Astra
fucking
Militarum.
An Inquisitor,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
8th
Oh,
edition
check it out,
called. They
Cody.
wanted
I'm
their
in.
list back.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Let's see what else we got going on. Tank Ace, Tank Commanders, Scions, Sentinels, Laser Destroyer Battery. Mccords are good. Chimeras are good.
What?
I mean, they die easy, but they're good.
He's mixing Vostroyans with
Edict
Talon?
Talern.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what he gains from that.
I think the outflank thing.
I
Yeah, you
think
get access to the Talaran outflank stratagem.
Yeah.
Is it? I thought. Okay.
That's Talaran.
Yeah. I don't.
I think it's a strat. I don't think it's like a warlord trait, is it?
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
it's
it's a
strat.
strat. And because it's an old codex, it's not locked
Yep.
out.
Still
so.
8th edition interacting with 9th.
I had to stop and look at that World Eaters list. That's why I paused myself.
Sam Bowman. He's
It's a
good
weird
guy.
list. It's really weird.
Scott Bludgeon's a good player.
Well, Ad
Running
Mech, so-
running easy mode with the Ad Mech. Hope he hears that.
Shit.
Steve Shermer. I like his night list. He's done pretty well with it.
Yeah, he was at Wooden Spoon, I think. He was at Show Me. Yeah, I've run into him at a bunch of events this year, and he's
And Team Texas should take notes. I'm saying something nice about one of their dudes.
Hmm.
So
well. This is the cut and paste list that a bunch of them were running for
Yeah.
a little.
yeah, he beat me with this list at War for the Wooden Spoon. I took second at that GT, but round 1, I remember telling everybody like, "Man, I don't want Knights. It's a bad matchup for me." Boom, right in the dick.
Gotcha.
Well, that was where you made me go buy you new dice because your dice were
was
so
it.
fucking cold.
Josh ran and bought me dice in the middle of the game because I was over it. So he's running about to say, "Oh, 3 Margeras." He didn't have 3 Margeras.
No, that after War for Wooden Spoon, this was the list he changed to because
Okay.
after that he was like, man, I needed 3 of the fucking Majeras.
I like Margeras. They're fucking good.
There's a Chaos player who's trying to
1,
do
2,
that with
3.
Chaos Majeras, I just don't think that codex should have been called Codex Not As Good As Imperial Knights.
Well, the whole thing with the Imperium Majoras is getting that 4-up invuln in close combat. Like, and you can't do that with the Chaos Knights. So it makes a huge difference.
Well,
Like,
it's also the operating at full bracket too, because Chaos doesn't have that, and Imperium's like, cool, you got me to 1 wound. I'm just gonna do what I do.
Yep.
bruh. And then you can zombie knight 1 and then work in the
Yep.
top bracket.
Well, he's
Yep.
crass, so
Yeah, that's true. So, all right, let's see what else we got. Timroyers, oh, Imperium. I'll bet you it's like a Castellan and some Ad Mech.
It is Ad Mech with a Castellan.
Not surprised.
Actually,
Tim felt dirty about it, and then he's gonna come down in a self-driving Tesla.
yeah, I actually feel like it's gonna do kind of good, just because
Nothing wrong with
Castellan.
that. You go first.
Yeah, Castellan can probably clap a few Dread Knights too.
Castellan's cheaper than it used to be.
Yep. Yeah.
So, and Tim's a good dude. I like Tim a lot. Let's see.
Is Viet running the same Imperial Knights list as Steve, or did his? I
Let's
think his
pull it
changed a
up.
little.
Sensei swag. What's he got?
Well, he's got a bottle of liquor.
Yeah,
And then-
Yeah.
more
That's
likely
true.
booze.
That's no shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Castellan
he's running
and
some
a
Mechanicus.
Majora and a Majora.
Oh, Quester Mechanicus. Excuse me.
Oh, he's got instead of 3 Majeras, he's got a Castellan
Yeah,
in there.
Castellan and 2 Majoras.
Yeah. All right.
He might do all right.
I
Yeah,
think Knights,
with the way that terrain is gonna be, with the bases not block line of sight, yeah, Knights could be a little spicy.
Yeah.
yeah, we'll
They could
see.
be
We'll
all
see
right.
about that. There may or may not have been a change on that. We'll see.
Oh, seriously?
I may or may not know the head judge, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, did I miss anybody, Josh, that you saw when going through lists?
No, I mean, when we went through the list, it was kind of the usual suspects. Part of it for me too is when we go through
Oh.
list, and my
Hang on, did I
thoughts
see
are-
Jesse Picnic? Oh, from Topeka. Yeah. But anyways, go ahead, Josh. Sorry.
Well, my thought was, when I looked through it, there's a lot of GK, there's a decent amount of Ad Mech, there's a decent amount of Orcs, right? So those are the 3 kind of meta picks to look at right now, and you got good players playing all 3 of those lists. And then you got some weird sleeper stuff out there. I think Knights play well into Orcs, so I mean, it just depends on how the Orc player plays, but T8 isn't great for them. So you can spike them down pretty quick, or you can just bounce. So there's a little bit of both. So I think Knights are in a good place. There's a couple good Knight lists. So there was some crazy oddballs too. There's an Imperial Agents list that is just assassins. So good luck. Hope you don't have any characters.
Yeah. Well, let's go look at the rankings before we get out of here and see where everybody's at. I'm gonna go back to share my screen again. And I got this new tech. It's dope. It's actually fucking working.
there's rankings. I didn't know this thing. Wow.
Oh yeah. So Lord Marshal rankings top 10. Let's do the team rankings first. So in 5th place for the team rankings is the Flying Monkeys. And man, the Denver Mountain Trolls out of nowhere, 4th place.
Yeah, they crushed it at Monkeys.
They did crush. They had a good outing, super good. They were best team at Monkey. They had a really good
Yeah.
outing.
they were, yes.
3rd is last year's champs, the Outlanders. Yeah, that was based on Dan Salmon's reign of terror.
Yeah.
Number 2, 40KC. Look at 40KC, dude. How the fuck did that happen?
Jason doing well,
Jason,
and
yeah.
then he Connor won the Wooden Spoon GT, and then
Yeah, maybe.
I think
and then
Sean placed at top 8 somewhere
number 1 is Frozen North Gaming. So
on Matt Root and Ben Sherwin's back.
yeah,
That's
Matt Root has all them guys have done pretty well, but they've been playing the medalist. Last week you heard the salt from Dan, or the week, last week. So, and
Yeah,
then
little-
top 10 in the Lord Marshal at present, and number 10 is I think already on the sailboat somewhere, not playing 40K right now. John Brock. John, if you're out there, hope you're doing good and enjoying that retirement, buddy. Number 9, speaking of Kyle Mccord. Number 8, Jason Rogers from 40KC. Number 7 is myself, Bam Bam. Number 6 is Stuart Reed from 40KC. So 40KC's got a couple players had some good outings this year. Number 5, in contention, Ben Sherwin. Number 4, Dan Salmons. Number 3, a hell of a rookie year, Charlie Andre. Number 2, James Kelling from Goonhammer and Frozen North. And number 1, Matt motherfucking Root. Matt is out on a fishing trip this weekend. He's so confident that he's got this under wraps. So I don't know if anybody.
I think he's right.
Yeah, I don't think anybody could statistically dethrone him. Ben does have a score he can replace, and I think Dan has a score he could replace, and Charlie could maybe have a good outing and do it. But I want to say that Matt has this on lock. So as far as the Lord Marshal champion this year is probably going to be Matt Root, who finally got out of residency and then implemented a reign of terror upon the Midwest competitive scene. So.
It was a nice time when he wasn't, but now he's back to fuck everything up. So
I feel like I'm part of the problem because I gave Matt 3 of his chronos. So, but all right, guys, we'll probably wrap that up and call it an episode. Josh, I'm glad you can make it on tonight and talk a little bit about it. James, thanks for being Johnny on the spot and adding some commentary. And Duncan, thank you for finally making it the fuck on.
Yeah,
and,
I'm here.
Alex, as usual, is Mr. Dependable. So let's go around the horn, do last words. Alex, you got anything?
Y'all just have fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully.
James, you want to shout out your YouTube channel one more time?
James loves games. Yay!
And with the mouthful of fucking food.
me.
It's Dunkalicious.
Looking forward to the last Iron Halo, and then Monkey being the crown jewel, the Lord Marshal after that. That'll be exciting.
Yeah, we can't fuck it up now. Pressure's on. And Josh, any words of wisdom going into the weekend, man?
No, I'm just super excited to see everyone. Can't wait to get this Halo in the books. It's going to be a good time, guys.
Yeah, good time, guys. I'll see everybody this weekend. If you're going to be at Halo, come up, say hi. It should be a good time. It's kind of nostalgic and monumental. Hopefully it's not the last Halo, but for now it is the last Halo. So we will be back next week. Hope to see everybody then. And we're gonna try and stop recording if I can find the right button.